Hey guys, and welcome back to Pip Explores. So on this channel we have talked about a lot of different parts of caving in my cave basics section, and if you're new to caving I highly encourage you to check that out. And today we're going to talk about the last step in the caving process, cleaning and deconning your gear.
I hear a lot of people saying the blues, but I'm going to tell you what the blues is.
So here in the eastern United States, we have to decon our gear because of something called white nose. Now, white nose is the common name for a fungus that disrupts the hibernation cycle of bats, and it can be fatal to bats if they become infected. So it's really important to not spread white nose and avoid that contamination whenever possible. So more information on white nose can be found at caves.org. There's an entire little section called white nose, and I will put the link to that in the description box below so you guys can read up on all of that. But today I want to talk to you about actual decon steps and the cleaning steps that I take to ensure that not only is my cave gear clean for my next trip, and to also make sure that it is as decontaminated as possible. So we have a couple of steps that we're going to go through. So our step number one is when you get out of the cave, remove as much sediment from yourself as possible. Beat your boots on the side of the road. Just try not to take all that mud and gunk home. Obviously, you're going to take some of it home, you're caving, but try to get as much of it off as possible while still at the cave. Keeping that dirt and sediment out of your car is just as important as deconning your gear later. So once you have gotten as much sediment off of you as possible, while you're still at the cave, you should take off your dirty clothes and put on clean clothes. Your dirty clothes and all of your muddy cave gear should then go into a closed plastic bag. So think like get a garbage bag, tie a knot at the top, and that keeps all of that stuff contained so it's not spreading to your car, so then you don't have to decon your car later. Once you've gotten all of your gear into your car, you come on back to your campsite, and then you get home and it's time to fully decon your gear. The first thing you need to do is try to get rid of, again, as much sediment as possible. Now, if you have a big old mop sink, this is going to be your best friend. Dump all your gear in that, and you're just going to scrub and get all that dirt off. Woolite has been tested and is found to remove sediment really well, so that's a really good detergent. And also Dawn dish soap. So I personally will rinse off all of my clothes and gear in a sink with some Dawn soap before I ever touch a washing machine, just because I don't want to damage the washing machine. Because if I have hands on it, then I know that I'm going to actually try to get all of that dirt off. Alright, so now our gear is going to get split into two categories. The first category is soft gear or submersible gear. This is stuff that if you put it in water that's above boiling temperature, it's going to be fine. So for soft gear, the best and easiest way to decon it is to submerge it in water hotter than 131 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. Now, most washing machines on their hot cycle will reach that temperature sustained for a long enough time to successfully decon, but you should always check the manufacturer settings on your specific washing machine. If you don't trust your manufacturer settings or just want to be super certain that you have successfully deconned, you do have a couple of other options. The easiest one would be get a big old pot, fill it with water, bring that water to a boil, add your clothes, let it boil for 20 minutes. And you can always check that by using a thermometer, but remember it needs to be above 131 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. Now let's talk about the rest of your gear, your headlamps, your helmets, all that stuff that you just can't put in boiling water. So the easiest way to decon all of your hard gear is by using Clorox or Lysol wipes. You should have already gotten all of the sediment off in your sink with your Dawn soap, remember that step? So now all you have to do is take a Clorox wipe and make sure you wipe down all of the surfaces. Now there are other products that you can use to successfully decon your gear, and the NSS has, through another organization, made this beautiful chart so you can refer to that. Once you have successfully deconned all of your gear, make sure you rinse off any residual chemicals such as the Clorox stuff that might still be clinging to your helmet. You're going to want to rinse that off so it doesn't end up in the water in the caves. And clean out whatever sink that you use. You can then hang your hard gear to dry, do whatever normal laundry things you would do with your soft gear, and prepare to go caving again. Now one more thing. There are certain areas of the United States that are considered white nose endemic, white nose intermediate, and white nose at risk. An at-risk state is one that they have not found one in, and there is at least one state between that state and a confirmed white nose state. And our confirmed white nose states, or our endemic white nose states, they're typically on the eastern side of the country. So if you're going from the east to the west, you're going to need completely new soft gear. You can't bring that gear even if it's been deconned. If you're going on a multi-day cave trip, make sure you bring separate sets of soft gear for each cave that you're going into so you don't have to worry about decon in between trips. If you have enough hard gear to do the same, that's also really advised, again, so you don't have to do your decon in between trips. So that wraps up all of my caving basics videos. If you guys have any other caving questions or topics you want me to talk about, leave those in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We have new videos every Tuesday, and that's all for this week. Bye, guys.